Hey guys, it is really easy to see how great living in the UK is as an expat, but unfortunately, that is not the full picture. It's actually far from it. If you want to be a successful expat in the UK, I think it is so important to understand why expats leave. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alana and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the last 7 years, and I have known many expats who have ultimately left the UK. So grab yourself a cup of tea, or in my instance, some cold brew coffee, and let's dive into why expats leave the UK, plus some personal advice to help you avoid these scenarios. So number one, it's simply not what they expected. It is so hard to get a real picture of what a country is like through social media. Naturally, we only want to portray the best bits, the good stuff, the travel, the fun, the friends, the new experiences, and we will very often completely erase the bad bits. But there's a lot of them, and I think it is really important to understand that, especially if you are looking to move abroad. If you want to be an expat, it is filled with both good things and bad things. You can't remove the bad stuff. It's just whether you as a person are willing to adapt to it and willing to go with the flow. Maybe you didn't expect the dark, damp winters of the UK, or maybe you didn't expect the work culture to be as it is, or the food, or the personalities of fellow Brits. It can be a variety of things, and it can be all of them. But a big part of why expats ultimately leave is just it's not what they expected. It's not what they had envisioned in their mind. It's not what they saw on social media. My biggest tip for avoiding this scenario is to go into being an expat with the most open mind as you can possibly manage. Having an open mind, going with the flow, gives you the best possible chance of success living in a foreign country. Living here in the UK is tough, but I think it is just so completely important. Number two, a huge amount of expats here in the UK ultimately go home because they miss friends and family. And I totally get it. For me, I love my life here. It's gonna be 8 years soon, which is crazy. And the reason that I would leave is because of friends and family. It is very difficult. It's just unavoidable. There's no way around it. Some of the expats that I have known that have left because of friends and family basically realize that they can't be away from friends and family. They don't want to. They want to live near their family. They want to be part of the family functions. The UK could be absolutely fabulous, but it just doesn't compete with being close to friends and family. My biggest tip for avoiding this scenario, you can't avoid it. It's just gonna happen. But my biggest advice would be to schedule a FaceTime or a Zoom call or whatever with your friends and family, so you know that you will always have that contact. Maybe every Monday night you call your parents, or every Wednesday morning, like depending on the time zones and whatever. I would 100% recommend schedule something in. That way you're not constantly playing telephone tag. Like sometimes you'll maybe text your mom and be like, hey, are you around for a call in an hour? And she's like, no, actually I'm busy today. How about tomorrow? And you're like, oh no, I'm gonna be out tomorrow. What about Friday? And she's like, okay, well I could maybe do Friday afternoon. And then you're like, well, maybe if you just text, like it just becomes a mess. And it's really easy to then kind of let that communication or that contact go because it's difficult, because there's a lot of like telephone tag. Just schedule it in advance. Number three, we have their visa runs out and they are unable to stay. A couple of my expat friends have had to leave because of visa issues. I don't think many people even consider this a point. I think more people are sort of wrapped up with the idea of like, ooh, will I like it? Will I don't like it? Like what's gonna happen? Before you can even get to that issue, you need to have a valid visa. As a Canadian, as an American, as a European, now that the UK is leaving the EU, like you can't just show up to the UK and live here because you want to. You have to really fight for a visa and fight to maintain a visa. I've known lots of people who have wanted to stay in the UK because they love it here, they've built a life here, their visa runs out, they either can't renew it or they're not eligible for a different type of visa and they have to leave. And honestly, it is heartbreaking. My biggest tip that I can offer is if you are planning to stay in the UK long term, you absolutely need to plan ahead. What visa are you working towards? What documents should you be gathering to use for your next visa application or your visa renewal? Like, you really have to fight for a visa and you have to plan ahead and you have to be organized to even remotely be able to stay here. So plan ahead and start early. You won't regret it. Number 4, I have seen expats leave the UK because they are unwilling or unable to change. Being a successful expat in any country requires you to be able to adapt to the new place, to be able to learn new customs, a new way of life, and to be able to change. And some people are just either not willing or incapable of doing that. Not to say that you should change everything about yourself. There is this kind of fine line between, so for me, I am Canadian. I'm always going to be Canadian. I sound very Canadian, even though I've been here for 7 years. But a large part of me now has adapted to the British way of life, the British language, the British customs. So you kind of have to find this balancing act between you as a person before, but you as a person in this new country. You need to be able to adapt, to change, to learn, to try new things. Otherwise, you will never really feel at home here. My biggest tip for this is to immerse yourself in the local culture as best as you possibly can. It doesn't have to be all at once, which could be maybe a little bit overwhelming, but bit by bit, the more that you do things like the British do, or say, or eat, or drink, or experience, or live, more and more like the British do, it will become second nature eventually, and you'll feel that much more connected to your new home here in the UK. You'll feel much more at home. My final expat advice, from one expat to another, whether you're here in the UK, whether you're thinking of coming over, is that you will not 100% love it here all the time. It's just not possible. No place is perfect. Canada isn't perfect. The UK certainly isn't perfect. I don't always 100% love my life here. There are things that bother me. There are things that annoy me. That's just life and you can't avoid it. But just because you experience some uncertainty about being here, maybe a little bit of the Brits call a wobble, that doesn't mean that you should think, oh my God, like I should go home. Like I feel funny about being here. Like I'm feeling unsure. So surely it's not for me. I hated the first 5 months I lived here. I absolutely hated it. It was so overwhelming. I cried constantly. I thought, this isn't for me. This sucks. I hate it. Everything is overwhelming. I'm anxious, like through the roof. I should just pack it in and call it quits. But I was too stubborn. And thank God, because after the 5 months, I suddenly realized like, oh, I actually kind of love it here. Give yourself time. Give yourself some room to experience new things. Give yourself some patience. It's a big move to go to a foreign country, to start over, to start a new life. It's a lot. So just be patient. There are going to be things that you don't like, but that doesn't mean that the UK isn't for you. And hopefully, if you give yourself enough time to really experience what the UK is like, perhaps you will fall in love with it like I did. But also know that just because you try the UK, you decide you really don't like it and you want to go home, you're not a failure, right? You don't know something until you try it. You don't know if you're going to like it or hate it until you really give it a try. So I have known many people who have stayed, many people who have left. You're not a failure or a winner either way. You're just trying something new. So go easy on yourself. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Definitely check out this one where I talk about how to beat homesickness when you move abroad. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.